Only date men with money. As a young single woman, you have two options. You can date men with money and you can date men with no money. This is my most problematic finance advice and something that none of the financial gurus are going to tell you. But who you pick as your partner is the most important financial decision of your life. Dating men with money is a massive shortcut into high net worth financial circles. The networking and connections are amazing. It's also the fastest way to get class mobility. I know this is taboo, but it's true. The opportunities, the connections, again, the class mobility that have come from dating men that have their bag is absolutely insane. And I do credit some of my career success to that. I know a lot of women don't talk about this. It's very taboo, but just don't waste your time on broke men.
Welcome to the wall. The same women who once demanded independence are now begging for the simps to come back. They want men with money, but they hate the patriarchy. They want equality until the check arrives. Today, we're going to look at how modern narratives fall apart when faced with reality. Help us reach 170,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Like the video and drop your take in the comments. We always feature the best one. And endless thanks to the fans who watch our videos daily. Let's get started.
Okay, I'm kind of glad that I went through my broke guy phase or dating for love phase when I was young, like in high school and in college. Because I can't imagine doing what I do now and still dating broke guys or dating guys that make the same amount of money as me. Imagine me being 25 and still going on dates to Chili's and splitting bills and letting my boyfriend borrow money. Like, what the fuck? That is like insane. I used to do that back in high school and in college, guys. Like, that is some bum ass behavior. And if you're a man, you get mad at me. Like, just skip through this. Don't get emotional in the comments. Comment. Like, shut up. Like, control your emotions. Take a testosterone shot. Go to CVS and ask for a testosterone shot because you need it. Don't cry about it in the comments. Just like some guys have preferences on like dating blondes, brunettes, skinny girls, thick girls. My preference is dating guys with money. So thank you. I literally had a boyfriend who was diabetic and he was so fucking broke. This was back in college, guys. So back when I had my college apartment, when he would stay over, he had to get like a bunch of sugary snacks because he was freaking weird in his body. So I went to the grocery store and I bought him sugary snacks and his favorite shit just so whenever he stays over at my house. What the fuck? I can't even imagine doing that shit right now. I am so glad my frontal lobe developed and just prioritize money now. Like, thank you, brain. Because there's so many girls my age that still are not like that they don't prioritize money instead of looks or love in relationships. And they're literally have in a whole relationship working full time and splitting bills. Like, that is fucking insane, bro. And still getting cheated on.
I don't know what kind of losers you're dating, but it's clearly not a man who knows what he wants in life. First off, a real man, if he wants to get to know you, would invite you out for coffee at a decent place where he can actually have a conversation. Second, he's going to evaluate whether it's even worth investing his time in a second date. The problem is, when you get used to dating chads, guys who bring nothing to the table, you start believing all men are the same, when in reality, plenty of us have standards and, more importantly, respect our time. So if your frontal lobe has finally developed, start by learning how to tell the difference between a man of value and a loser. Then again, nowadays the gold digger doesn't even bother pretending. She shows her true colors without shame, as we'll see in the next video.
And why did you choose him?
Because he's hot and he has money.
Does money make a difference when you pick a guy?
Yes.
Why?
Because you get stability. You cannot be with someone that doesn't know what to do, doesn't find the business to provide the family food, the necessities. You cannot be with someone who doesn't know what does he want. You know what he wants.
That's why you chose him.
Yes.
How much does someone have to make to hit your criteria?
It's not only about quantities, just to have someone he cares for you and he gave you everything that you need at home.
When you guys have an argument and you remember, he makes a lot of money, does that make it easier for you to stay with him?
Probably, yes.
I love it. So you're saying that money sometimes makes it a lot easier in a relationship.
Yeah, money it always makes things easier. I know it's not all about the money, but it absolutely makes all difference.
At least let's admit it. The guy knows what he's doing, and so does she. They both understand the deal. And yeah, money makes life easier, period. That's why I always tell men, Focus on your path. Build your finances, your body, your mind, and your environment. Money doesn't just open doors, it keeps them open when things get tough. A man who has control over his life and his finances doesn't depend on anyone, and he doesn't beg for attention. Now, when it comes to women, enjoy your money, have a good time, date who you like, but don't make the mistake of marrying someone who only values you for what you can provide. Because the day you can't provide will be the same day she starts looking for someone else. It's that simple. Be smart with your money. Use it, enjoy it, but don't put it in the wrong hands. Because a lot of them will see you as a simp or a beta provider, like the woman asking for this in the next video.
Any man that's not a simp is gay in my book. If you're not a simp, you like men. Point blank, period. Because why the fuck would you want to display with your full chest how much you don't like a woman? Because any man that says that a man is a simp, it's always because the man is displaying ways in which he likes a woman. So essentially, men want approval from other men based off of how poorly they could treat a woman. And I'm supposed to still think that y'all are heterosexual. I'm still supposed to think that y'all are attracted to women and y'all like women when y'all take pride in admitting the fact that you actually hate women and you actually want to do all the things possible to show that you hate women in order to impress other men. I'm sorry, if he ain't a simp, he gay. It's really that simple. If he is not giving you love and devotion and putting you first, he's gay. He doesn't like women. It's really that simple.
They're already crying for the simps to come back. Those guys who think worshiping a woman somehow makes them more of a man. But no, brother, you can like a woman without becoming a doormat who begs for attention. These days, there are 3 types of men. The simp, who lives to validate any woman. The one who gave up and wants nothing to do with them. And the one you should be, a traditional man. A gentleman, disciplined, self-respecting, driven toward excellence, and someone who chooses women who are truly worth his time. The thing is, simps are waking up and realizing that putting a woman first, above their goals and purpose, only leaves them drained, broken, or broke. Meanwhile, the men who prioritize themselves, who work on becoming better, attract women who respect them and admire their leadership. So no, nobody wants to be a simp. Being a simp today is the fastest way to lose your value, your respect, and your peace.
Women.
My advice to young women and women in general is to be very wary of men who start giving excuses for hypothetical men they don't know when you're talking about real issues of misogyny, sexism, violence against women, any kind of like patriarchal institutions. When you're talking about them, if the man that you're speaking to, his first reaction is to explain any reason other than like patriarchy as to why those things are happening, I would check on that man. I would reevaluate how I think about that man, because what that typically means is that they either know someone or they themselves do the things you are talking about, and they have already excused it in their mind and don't see anything wrong with it. Let me give you an example. Like, if you tell a guy that you're dating about sexual harassment you're experiencing at work, and his first reaction is to explain why you didn't understand the joke, or how that's probably not how the guy intended it, or how you're taking things too seriously, or you're too sensitive, that man does not care about you. He cares about upholding patriarchy because he's probably doing the same things as his job.
Do you know one of the biggest signs that you are dealing with a dangerous, indifferent man? And what is a dangerous, indifferent man? A man who may not be overtly abusive, who may not be overtly violent, but who stays silent about male violence more broadly, and they really believe inherently they have no obligation to change the nature of men's violence. Is that when there is the opportunity to defend a man, they will take it. When a man's conduct is indefensible, you will hear nothing. Every horror story that you hear about men's violence, sexual violence towards women, sexual violence towards children, that is pretty much indisputable, or so horrific that it bears commenting on, they will not comment on it. If you go and look in the comment section of any story about a man's violence where they believe that there is even a suggestion, a breath of doubt to the story, they will all be in there and they will be amplifying what they see as reasonable doubt. If it is absolutely threadbare in terms of what is doubtful about the victim's testimony or trial coming to an end and someone's criminal conduct being confirmed, you'll hear nothing. Not in support of the victim, not in condemning the man who has been maybe found guilty. You'll hear nothing. Major red flag. Anytime you see news stories, go and have a look in the comments. Where it is indisputable, these men who are not abusive, who are not violent, who would never hurt a fly, have nothing to say. But when they get the chance to jump in and defend a man, where there is even a skerrick of doubt, they'll be there.
These women are constantly looking for any excuse to attack men, like it's some kind of sport. The irony is that the first one defends women she doesn't even know, assuming they never do anything wrong. According to her logic, women don't harass, don't manipulate, and never make men uncomfortable in female-dominated work environments. And when a man suffers abuse or injustice, they twist the whole story to make him look like the aggressor. It's the same old trick. I'm always the victim. Just like the second woman, who talks about male violence. But what she doesn't say is that both men and women are in relationships, and that naturally leads to conflict. Now, the rate of abuse and violence against women has dropped significantly, but she also ignores the fact that women harm men too. Because if they were little angels, women's prisons wouldn't exist. But of course, she won't mention that, because in her world, the man always has to be the villain.
Once you see men for what they really are, it becomes so incredibly boring to hear people defend their bad behavior as if the world depends on it. I will never be able to comprehend any more at this point in my life why we are putting men on a pedestal, why we are not holding them accountable, why we are allowing them to disrespect us, to be liars, to take away our rights, to literally allure women to go on dates with them by lying about their political affiliation. We literally need to start spitting in their face or something. And at the end of the day, it's all boiled down to, oh, you're just not silly enough. You don't know how to have fun. Oh, you just take life so seriously. And it's like, what part of this is supposed to be fun? I'm not having fun. I don't even date men anymore, and existing in society with them is not fun. They are not good at society, at doing things that can help other people. I've talked about this before, but the consequences for their actions are not strong enough. They are enabled almost every facet of life. This is why I encourage women constantly to look beyond romance to fulfill your life, because men are not going to give it to you, especially if you're someone who is attracted to them romantically and sexually.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Just hearing you say you don't date men explains everything. Because a woman who doesn't date men, who doesn't engage with them at all, clearly hates them. You look like you're into women, which is probably why you hate anyone who might be your competition. But the most ridiculous part is hearing you say that men don't contribute to society. Let me tell you, society exists because men keep it running. Who builds the cities you live in? Who keeps the global economy going? Who works to produce your food? Who protects you from foreign threats and provides you with a safe environment? Who invented the technology you use to talk nonsense? Who built the car you drive, the roads you use, the house you live in? Your life and this society depend on the hard work of millions of men who make it possible for you to have the space to thrive. But of course, maybe you'd prefer to live in a Muslim society where you're fully covered and stuck in the kitchen. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Why are women begging for the simps to come back? Why are women only interested in money? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.